To be completely honest, and I don't think I've ever shared this publicly, but I I went from such a high to signing my first contract to I was depressed. Like straight up, like I would go home. I hated going to training every day.
Welcome, everybody, to The Conversation, a Colorado Rapids podcast where I, your host, Jordan Angeli, get to talk to people about life in Colorado and everything under the sun, from soccer to what it's like living here. We have a really special guest, a Philly kid who made his way to the Mile High City, really made his mark in Burgundy, and now plays on one of the biggest stages in the world. From the Rapids to the Scottish Premiership, please welcome Auston Trusty. Auston, thank you for taking some time out of your day to chat with me. It's nice to meet you.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me on here. I've seen your podcasts from last year with Drew, and then the ones recently too. So I'm actually really excited to one, meet you, but also be on here.
Oh, well, thank you. It's like midday here in Colorado, but for you in Scotland, what time is it?
7:38. So
Yeah,
just had dinner.
Just had dinner. Did you have a good dinner?
I did. My wife is a very good cook.
Nice.
So made a really good dinner.
I love that. Yeah, a world away, and you've lived a whole life in this day, I'm sure, between practice and getting home and spending time with family, and now you get to talk to us. So I'm really thankful for you giving us a little bit of your time. But I want to start just to get to know you. I haven't had a chance to talk with you off camera before we started. I was telling you I left the club with the Rapids right as you were coming in. So I haven't had a chance to really get to know you, and really your journey in soccer started back home in Pennsylvania. So I want to know what that was like growing up in your family, and why soccer? When did that kind of click for you that you wanted to play?
Um, wow. All right, we'll bring it back. So I'm the youngest of six kids. So
Whoa.
the oldest is 18 years older than me. So the day I was born was the day he was going to college. So my parents did like two, and two, and I think they had my brother Ethan, and then they needed oh my gosh, so sorry. My family keeps calling me and they're blowing my phone up.
Hey, you I get it.
Sorry.
This is the thing. This is probably the time where they normally call you, huh?
Yeah. Sorry. Do we need to restart or we can keep going?
You can keep going. And also, if you need to take a pause and just tell them, hey, can I call you back? You can do that too.
It's a family group chat, so like everyone just
Oh,
everyone's
God.
calling at the same time.
I love it.
Let me just
And
I was
evidently,
going
your
to
family's pretty big, so it's a big
Yeah, I
group
know.
chat.
It's a lot of cell phones trying to call. Um yeah, I guess I'll restart. So I'm the youngest of six kids. My oldest is 18 years older than me. So the day I was born was the day he was going to college. So my parents had two, and two. So um, I actually had five really good mentors for sport. They took it very serious. So the oldest played basketball, then long distance track, then there's soccer, and then track, long jump, triple jump, high jump, and then lacrosse, and then I played baseball, basketball, and soccer.
Wow.
So the oldest set, they were already in college doing their thing, and then the middle set, they were in high school when I was growing up. So my sister Ani, I fell in love watching and playing football, watching her play, which is
Oh.
pretty cool and I think rare now. Like it won't be coming times, but back then it was really rare for to get inspired and love soccer off of my
Mhm.
sister playing really well and excelling in the sport. So I used to go all her games. I'd be the ball boy because at that time my mom had six kids. She's not. She's
Oh,
gonna
yeah.
drag me and my brother
You're
Ethan
going to
to the
go
games.
wherever. Yeah, you're
So we
going
had,
wherever mom's going.
yeah. So we had no choice. So I just had to be the ball boy and just watch her play. And then slowly but surely, I just started to fall in love with the game. And she um she started to excel and through the national team and through high school, and also she had full ride to Florida State University. So I grew up in a family where it wasn't a lot of financial resources. So I saw this as an opportunity for one, she get to see that she's getting to see the entire world, have all these cool experiences, but also she had that ability to go to school and go to college for free. So that was really my goal. And put my head down and just grinded ever since. But that's kind of how my journey started with football.
That is so cool. I love hearing that, and that your sister was such a big piece of that. But if it feels like when you're talking about that, you guys hit like every single sport you can hit too.
I know. Our like in your garage, you have like a bucket or like a corner of the room where
Oh
it's like
yeah.
all the sports. We had everything, everything. But I grew up in a really nice neighborhood where all the kids we were never inside. We were only outside making up
Oh,
games or playing mini stick lacrosse or playing outside
mm,
hockey. But
yep.
one sport they would never play was soccer. I had to convince my brother. I had to bribe him. So I'd play lacrosse for 30 minutes with him, and then he played soccer for 30 minutes with me. But I actually got really good at lacrosse for doing it. In the high school we were at, tried to recruit me to switch over to lacrosse from soccer. But good thing I did not do that.
Yeah. No, that would have, I mean, who knows what would have happened, but you would have missed out on a lot of things I'm going to talk to you
I
about
know.
today, which are
Yeah.
really cool moments. How would you describe your family, like the things that they instilled in you? Because it sounds like there is a little bit of competitiveness in there, but maybe some work ethic too. Like to be the youngest of six, you get to learn from the best of them. What do you think the biggest lessons you learned from your older siblings were?
Really just mentality. Like I said before, I had five really good mentors. They took it very, very serious and they were like dedicated to the craft, whether putting in extra hours or going to every tournament or going to whatever they could to put themselves in a position. Uh, when you're around that environment, it just is what it is. So when it came to when it was my turn, any questions I had or it just was it just is what it just was that was the only way just to go about doing sports and striving to achieve something in that kind of way.
Mm-hmm.
So that's really the biggest thing. It's just the mindset. So I mean, your environment really does create you.
Yeah, I love that. When you were the ball kid for your sister's games, were you like, hey, I want to be a soccer player when I grow up? Was there ever a thought? Do you remember a thought of being like, I want to be a pro soccer player? Was that on your radar when you were young, or did that develop?
So the Philadelphia Union was I think it was established in 2010. They had this when they were creating the MLS team for the Philadelphia Union. I was actually in Boy Scouts, so I found out about the Philadelphia Union through being in Boy Scouts, tying knots and lighting fires. And one of my fellow Boy Scouts, he said, "Hey, you know the Philadelphia Unions? They're making a team here. It's called the Philadelphia Union." I'm like, "Oh, that's pretty cool." He's like, "Yeah, they're having like tryouts for the younger kids, like every training every single Tuesday." Um, I might go try out. I'm like, huh, where are the tryouts? Like, when are they? He's like, oh, they're like this week over here. It's called a place called Camp Pressure, YSC Sports. And I ended up going. And I made the training squad, and then that was my journey of the Philadelphia Union. Um, sorry, what was the what was the beginning of the
Well, just like
question?
if you had a moment where you wanted to be pro, like
Oh,
did you
yes.
think, oh, I could be a soccer player, or did you think like, hey, I want to be a pro soccer player?
It was never really the thought process of that was so far fetched.
Mm,
It was insane. Just going to college was like at Mount Everest, and
yeah,
then that was like
that was the
impossible. And then
pinnacle.
yeah, going pro, Champions League, Premier League, national team, that was not even like in this atmosphere or stratosphere or
Mm-hmm.
galaxy. That was not like a reality. And that's kind of how it truly was. So and I my dream was going to University of North Carolina. So when I had the ability to go there, I thankfully I did really well in the academy and I had a lot of options. But
Mm-hmm.
I told my coaches I don't want to go any other school. I want University of North Carolina for one reason, and it wasn't even soccer. It was because of Michael
I was
Jordan.
gonna say you're
I heard
wearing it right now.
it was because of that's actually ironic because it's Carolina
That
too.
is.
Um, I heard through the grapevine that every 4 years he goes back to UNC, so every student meets him. And I was so obsessed with Michael Jordan. I'm going into what I'm going to, is that my dream was going to be an NBA player, not soccer player. So when the NBA dreams were gone and it was focused on soccer, I was like, all right, this is the closest I can get to him. So I chose North Carolina just so I can meet Michael Jordan. And I've yet to meet him yet, but I will one of these days.
Yes. Oh my gosh, that is ironic and meant to be that you're wearing that sweatshirt right now. So
Yeah.
the dream was basketball. How long did you play basketball?
Played my whole entire life. Played since my brother is 2 years older than me. I always played up for 2 years, so I got really really good. And when I'd go down to kids my age, it was a lot easier because I had to learn to use my body for certain ways playing up.
Uh-huh.
Um, but it ended probably my freshman year because as football and soccer works, the opportunity comes very very fast rather than playing basketball. So the academy started when I was sophomore in high school.
Okay.
So I played my freshman year I played basketball, but I had to call it quits when the academy started because that's when you couldn't commingle
Yeah.
school basketball and that. So
Mhm.
had to make a choice, and my high school history teacher that year, he was my basketball coach. And when I
Uh,
told him that I wasn't gonna play, he never talked to me again.
I was gonna say he didn't fail you, did he?
Yeah, we still had 6 months left of the year, and when I told him, and like literally not one word. Imagine your high school teacher, like never talking again in that class. Yeah, I
Oh my, you're like, come on, Mr.
know,
Jones. I don't know his name.
I know.
Yeah, that's crazy. I think though, this is my theory. I think people that play basketball just have a better ability in soccer. Like you have timing, you know how to jump, you know how to control your body a little bit more too. Because I don't know about you, but I
Yeah.
fouled out of a lot of basketball games. I was a little had a little too much soccer aggression, but especially when it comes to jumping and timing with headers, I think
Yeah,
basketball is like one of the best teachers of that.
yeah, 100%. I've always said like if you watch me play and how I defend, my stance and how I movement and what my movements are and how I check my shoulders and everything, it's all basketball movements.
Yeah.
So when being over here and coaches kind of because I get down very low, like I have a basketball stance when I
Yeah.
defend. Um, and so I was explaining like that's why I do that. It's just naturally. It's just how I defend. When like you're saying you pull your shorts up and pull your palms up to to
Yes.
defend. That's how I play soccer.
Oh, I love that. Well, um, basketball I know was your first love. It sounds like, but you find yourself in the Union Academy and to the place where you're then signing a homegrown contract. What was that like for you as someone who soccer was a big part of what you did growing up? That moment that you got to sign the homegrown deal.
It was amazing. I think I haven't told the story a long time, well, for the longest time, but I've started to share it recently. But there was a point in time where I almost got cut. I was getting cut from the academy. So at that time, when I first signed for the academy, it was so high, coming from Boy Scouts and doing the union juniors and getting it in
Mm-hmm.
the academy. That first year in the academy, I didn't play any games. So I was at such a high. I'm on the union academy. I'm wearing the jerseys and blah blah to being such a low of not playing one single minute in the entire year. So I remember one training, I told myself if I'm here next year, it's game over. I'm making it to the top. And that following off season, the coaches had a meeting, and in that meeting, there was a cut list and then keep list, and my name was on the cut list. So the guy named Ian Monroe, he lives in Glasgow, like 20 minutes away from me. We're really close. He did the Union Juniors, so he knew me for a couple years before that.
Mm-hmm.
He's the kind of like like an OG and thing. He wasn't part of the academy. He's just an OG, so he can kind of walk in and do what he wants.
Yeah.
He walked in the meeting and was like, "Oh, what are you guys doing here?" Like, "Oh, we're doing the keep and cut list. Like, who do you want to see?" And he saw my name in the cut list, and he went up again, not having any business being in that meeting, grabbed my name and said, "You're keeping him." So without him doing that, I probably would have, because you're such a high and then such a low. I probably would have soccer in a sense was really tainted for me.
Yeah.
So I probably would have stopped playing after that and just focused on basketball.
Wow.
So then going from basically zero to the next following academy year, I was captain of the U16 team. I was played in the start in the U17 World Cup. So I went from zero to 100 to then being one of the original people to sign a homegrown contract in the Philadelphia Union. So signing that contract was just the best feeling in the entire world because of where I came from, the situation I was in, to then achieving that. But then the journey just started then.
Yeah. It feels like, and maybe we'll get to this later, but it feels like you handle adversity really well, Austin. Do you feel like you do?
Yeah, I think it's been the strong point of my career and my life and all that. I think it's just the environment I grew up in. There's adversity in every aspect of life, whether you grow up rich, grow up poor, grow up healthy, grow up not healthy. Like you have adversity, however, it's just how you deal with it and how you accept it and internalize it and how you can then use it to propel yourself to go further.
Yeah.
So that's not the only time I've ever had adversity in my entire career. Again, that was just the beginning,
Right.
but you need that to propel yourself to go higher. And that's what keeps you grounded. And
Hmm.
Again, it sucks and it's the worst thing in the world. No one wants adversity. You want it to be easy, but
Yeah.
you don't actually appreciate the good times without going through the
Yeah.
bad times. It's cliche, but it really is true.
Totally. I think it's the ground that like cultivates growth. If you don't have
Yeah.
it, then you're not going to grow. And for you, that was going into a huge year, right? It almost feels like to me that you weren't there to prove people wrong. You were just like wanted to prove that you belonged and that you could really do a good job and be a
Yeah.
leader on this team. Was that kind of what you're
Yeah.
saying there?
I didn't want to be overlooked.
Yeah.
I think when I felt overlooked or when I feel overlooked, that's when um I don't know why I'm like that. I'm thankful it's like that. I'm like this, but it's a switch in my head where I'm just full on and maybe too it's some of a detriment because I'm one of a person that's like I can get so fixated on just achieving something, which is the greatest gift in the entire world, but also a little bit detriment to those around me.
Yeah.
Thankfully, my wife is she does it very well and knows how to deal with that.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah, that's great. And wives are important for that to keep us grounded, right?
yes, absolutely.
So I love that you give her a little shout out right there. Uh, so when you sign your homegrown contract, you're how old now?
I was 17.
17, and it goes from like, hey, I'm a soccer player, to like, no, this is my job, right? I'm not going to
Yeah.
UNC. Sorry, Michael, we'll have to meet another time. I am going to be a professional soccer player. Did you feel a difference then? Did the game feel different to you, or what were the changes that you noticed right away?
To be completely honest, and I don't think I've ever shared this publicly, but I I went from such a high to signing my first contract to I was depressed. Like straight up, like I would go home. I hated going to training every day because you're a young guy and you're I was 17 and that town the guy like that team was had a bunch of 30-year-olds, 20-year-olds, 25-year-olds. Like at that time, when you're 17, 25 sounds like you're so old.
Oh gosh,
Um,
ancient.
I know. I'm like, what the heck? I'm 27 now, but I still think I'm 19.
Yeah.
Uh, but so I didn't know how to relate to older players, older guys. Things I thought were funny, they didn't think were funny. So like I wasn't really communicating well.
Mm.
And then also, what really made me depressed is I would go home and I had nobody because all my friends were in college, living their lives, everything like that. So like I thought like all the stuff I've done to get to this point, now I'm professional, but really why like, I should be so happy, but you're only thinking about up like the grass is always greener. They're all in college, they're living their lives, they're making new friends, or going out, or doing this, doing that. While I'm just going home to training, and it's just silence.
Yeah.
So I remember just being like, I'm actually like sad. I
Yeah.
shouldn't be sad, but the reality is that is so. A lot of people don't think about that. It's on a contract, and my friends again and through the academy and through regular high school, they're looking at me and like, oh my gosh, you signed a personal contract, all this stuff. But um, you know, until you're in that world, you always think that world is better, and then the grass is always greener, and then sometimes it's you never know where people are at mentally.
Yeah. No, thank you for sharing that. That's really real, and I think relatable to a lot of people who have made that jump at such a young age. I also work in the women's game, and I know that that is something that they're addressing. Like, how do we help these young kids adapt to a locker room? Like you're 17 and you're in a locker room with 35-year-olds. Like that, there's a lot of life that can be lived between those two moments of your life. So,
Yeah.
yeah, I feel like when you're sharing that, it feels really real and like it makes sense. Do you feel like the next step of, you weren't fully integrated in, you were probably training with the first team, but like you played a little
Yeah,
bit with Bethlehem Steel. Did the Steel
yeah.
days help you feel like, okay, I made the right decision. I'm getting playing time. These people are maybe a little bit closer to my age. Was that a really important step for you?
Um, yes, no. See, there's different environments with every team. With that environment, yes, I'm getting games personally, doing the well because I'm getting games to prepare myself skill wise and mentally to make the next step into the first team. But also, you're in an environment where you're a first team player younger, and then there's guys in the second team who are, in a sense,
Yeah, I didn't think about that.
um, I mean, in a sense, have envy towards your situation. So then they treat you bad. You're like, oh, dude, I can't win here, dude. Like, what's going on? So that those experiences, they allowed me to be able to like in, internalize it, but not let it hit me emotionally, but also realize that like this is my career, this is my game. You need to focus on yourself and focus on your craft. The outside stuff is outside
Yeah.
noise. It doesn't really matter. Be a good teammate, be a good be a coachable person, and have the same mindset to just achieve, 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 and that kind of instilled that in me going through those experiences. But
Hmm.
yeah, not the answer you're probably expecting, but it's the truth.
No, I think the truth is warranted, and people maybe don't often hear that, right? And but it's a lot to handle. It's a lot to handle for any professional, but to handle when you're 17, 18, 19 years old, it's a
Yeah,
lot of demand on such a
you know,
young kid. And
yeah,
it sounds like you learned a lot of lessons really
yeah,
early on about yourself, how you handle things, how to
yeah.
move forward, and um, you eventually make the first team and are playing significant minutes with the first team. Do you feel like there was a moment that you realized, all right, I can really do this. Like I can't just I'm not just gonna have a contract, but I'm gonna be super impactful. Like, do you remember a moment or a game where you felt like it kind of all clicked?
Yeah, I think my first game. Actually, no, my before that, I played a preseason friendly against Swansea. Uh,
Oh,
Swansea came over and I played like that's the first start for the Philadelphia Union, like and then like a game. And I played really, really well in that game. And I realized, oh, these guys are at Swansea and I'm doing this, doing that. Like, okay, like this is the level I can get to this. So that kind of
mm-hmm.
gave me confidence to realize, okay, uh, it's achievable. I've seen it. Because when they're overseas, you think, oh, they're so far away. But when they come to you, you play against them,
Totally.
like, oh, you're an actual like human, you know?
Yes.
Like, I can get here. It's possible. You're a human just like me. So like you
Yes.
made it. So like it's possible for me. So yeah, I'd probably say that's my experience.
I use that same analogy when I'm talking to people about like when I decided I wanted to be a pro is I met a pro and I was like, wow, this is actually just like a real person. Yeah, they played in the
Yeah,
World Cup, but they're real and like they're just like me. So those moments are really pivotal. And it's
yeah,
interesting that it came for you and that was a moment where you feel like maybe a little prophecy in that, right? Like I will be
yeah, yeah,
playing at that level at some point
yeah,
and you knew you were capable of it.
yeah.
One of the things that I find really interesting about your time in MLS is you were homegrown for Philly and had some really good years with Philly, but then you get traded to Colorado. And I'm just curious how that is. I was traded as a player and it's a weird feeling because you're wanted, but you're also not wanted. And you're coming from a place that you grew up with, right? Like you're a homegrown in Philly. What was that transition like for you coming to Colorado? And what do you think really what was the moment where you were like, all right, I can't wait to be with Colorado because this team believes in me.
It's just new beginnings, new faces, and putting myself in a new environment. I think being at home in Philadelphia, I was in my comfort zone, and I knew I needed to whether either go overseas or go to a different team because I needed to get out of the comfort zone. I needed to like get out of my parents' house, get out of Philadelphia, get out of people because I don't know what propelled me to do that and try to move on to Colorado, but it really was knowing that I needed a change into a different environment to let me grow as a person and also as a player because I knew if staying at Philadelphia for all that time, being that young, me personally, I wasn't going to be able to get to where I wanted to go.
Mm,
I needed a culture shift. I needed an environment shift where it was all new for me, and I
yeah.
needed to grow as a person. So I was looking forward to it.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
that first year, probably not any year that anybody wants to remember or talk about. 2020 was really your first year in Colorado, and it was just a challenging year in general. But then in 2021, you're here and that year set you apart, right?
yeah.
What do you feel like it was about your play that season that allowed you to differentiate yourself from other players?
I think from that previous year, it was a really really hard year for me. Um, it was COVID, but also I didn't play many games for the Rapids that year. for whatever reasons, but that allowed me to really dig deep and focus more on my craft and focus more on what I wanted to achieve. And being a good teammate and working with the coaches, all the sorts. So I dove into it, and through that process, I got so locked in, and you believe in yourself, and you back yourself. So that next season, I went into it just completely backing myself and backing my ability, and you know, with the culture around the Rapids and the environment I had with the teammates and coaches, I had great support, and I was able to excel and excel and excel and excel, and then later getting picked up by Arsenal.
Yeah, it just feels like, I don't know if you believe this, but I just think everything happens for a reason. Like if you
Yeah, it
don't
does.
come
It
to
does.
if you don't come to Colorado, maybe even if you don't have that moment against Swansea, right? If you don't have
No,
that
yeah,
moment at
yeah.
Swansea, you don't really think that you can do that. And then if you don't come to Colorado, you don't get signed by Arsenal. Like Austin, you signed with Arsenal.
I know.
That is
Yeah,
like
yeah.
got to be the wildest. When that start came on the table, like what were your what was your reaction?
It's more of a like thankfully I was having a really good year and all the stuff, and it's when you're doing well, teams want to come get you. And my dream is always go overseas. So when I had the ability to go overseas, I had multiple teams reach out to my agents, and you're going through that process. And then Arsenal came to mix, and then it was like focus on that one. So
I would think
my
so.
agents and the Rapids were able to get that done and agree to terms. So um, I was happy. I think everyone was happy uh,
Hmm.
uh, coming out of that, and then went on to my journey over to Birmingham.
Yeah. What so going on loan like right away to Birmingham, what was how would you describe that difference in the league or maybe similarities to MLS to the championship playing for Birmingham that first year?
It was so intense. So that year I didn't have an off season, so I played the entire
Wow.
MLS season, and then was in the national team. So when you're with the national team off season, you don't really
No.
barely have an off season. So maybe I had like a week off. Then I went back into the next season because I went back on loan for the Rapids, and then I went into a full championship season. So I played 2.5 seasons all in a span. I
Wow.
didn't have one break. And the championship is 46 games, plus cup games. So
Oh my
it was,
gosh.
and I played every single minute, every single game. So it was very intense. So I wonder what I would have thought with just having it be one season. With the championship, it is the most one of the most grueling leagues in the entire world. It is nonstop. You have a game every other day. You sleep, you train slash recover, and then you got a game next day, and rinse and repeat for the entire year. And then
Wow.
playing on Christmas, playing on New Year's, you don't have. I spent Christmas staring at my ceiling because like my family was home, and we got a game, so it's like there's nothing I can really do. So it was um, as much as that sounds bad, but you're in it. Like this is
Oh
what it's
yeah.
about. Like you're playing on Christmas. It really is a blessing. People want to come to my game on their Christmas day with their families to come watch me and my teammates play. Like it really is the blessing.
Yeah.
But it was really really nice. And Birmingham was the perfect stop for me.
Tell us a little bit more about. You say it's grueling. That was the first word that you said. Like, describe the game. So you're saying, hey, we play every other day, but like
Yeah,
this league is, I don't know, feisty. Like it is
yeah,
so intense on the field. How would you describe the football that was played when we were there?
yeah. It was the first experience where there was teams who just who are up and down the Premier League, so they tend to like to play more. There's teams who are really good at playing, and there's teams who are really good at long ball, kind of like football. And either game, any game, you can get beat. So you have to be on it every
Mm,
single game because whatever style they play, they're all really good at it, and they all know exactly what the game plan is. So whether you agree with kind of football you want to play or whatnot, they're all effective. So
yeah.
that's what I mean. Like that was the difference because the MLS, everyone kind of tries to play. Um, and play like in a prettier fashion. But that was the first real experience there where they're like, some teams are like, yeah, let's do that. Other teams are like, we do not care. We just want to win, and they'll win doing
Yeah.
that. So you have to adjust and be able to play in all different kinds of atmospheres and styles of play.
Which maybe one of the reasons why you said this is a perfect stop for you because
Yeah,
you had to learn how to play against and be effective against so many different styles right away.
Yeah, it was. I think going there from Colorado was such a blessing because I came flying because I was in altitude. It's like I was already fit and doing that stuff, but I came flying
Yeah.
more than ever. So that
Hmm.
definitely helped out as well.
I love that. Yeah, I'm from Colorado, so I always love that altitude bump. It is
Yeah,
a little
yeah.
bump you get going anywhere else. So after that year, you end up signing with Sheffield United, and you got to play in the Premier League.
Yeah.
Did you have like? Is there a pinch me moment? You're like, I am playing in the Premier League.
My when my friends would come over and they come to my games, they'd be like, "You realize you just played like Rashford and Salah and this and that." And I'm like, "Oh yeah, you're right." Like you're so in the zone, you're so like just fixated on doing well and doing a good job. You don't really yeah, it doesn't really hit you as much as it probably should. It hit me more after the fact. My friends and family would come talk to
Yeah. Wow.
me.
I
Yeah.
can't. I I just can't imagine going up against those players. I mean, you're playing against those players. You're just saying like right in front of you, but you're just focused on winning the game, not really. Oh my gosh, I'm defending Mo Salah, right?
Uh, yeah. I mean, I think you obviously you know that before the games. You realize, oh, okay, I'm about to play Mo Salah, I'm about to play this guy. But um, again, they're human at the end of the day, and
Yeah.
whether they fancy the game or not, yeah, I'm gonna go out there and give my best. So yeah, you try even harder if it's possible. You would go even more because you've watched the guys on TV for many years, out being on the
Hmm.
outside. Now you're here.
Yeah.
You wanna show them what's up.
Yeah. What's that like? Because you got to be a part of a team that was promoted and then relegated as well. Like, can you describe what it's like to be in that dressing room after something like that happens, getting relegated, and it's got to be one of the
Terrible.
quietest locker rooms you've ever been in.
Yeah, it was I think going to there, I wanted to test my ability. Going, okay, now I have I was with Arsenal and I wanted to test myself and actually, play. And I wanted to play in the Premier League.
Mm-hmm.
Um and have opportunities to play. So I went to Sheffield and during that process, I think their mindset they're going up and down. So it's different. Going from Arsenal, it's can we win the league versus you
Right.
go to a team that just came up, they're thinking, can we not get relegated? So it's a different kind of mindset shift that I wasn't really ready
Mm-hmm.
for with uh, people thinking that way because I'm delusional. Like I'm thinking well, we're winning the Premier League. Like this is the only way. So that's kind of my mindset. So throughout the season, when you realize okay, it's not looking good and things aren't turning for you, and then when you actually get to that time, it's
Mm-hmm.
you don't wish it upon anybody. It is honestly the worst thing in football. No one wants to be part of that team. No one wants to be part of that environment where that is the outcome.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, gut wrenching. Really, it sucks.
Yeah, it's just not something we know of here in the United States, right? It's
Yeah,
hard to describe because it is not a reality for us. But I can only imagine how um, ecstatic it is to be in that level, and then how hard that is knowing that it's not just about you and the team. It's about the city. It's about the supporters. It's
yeah,
about so much more. Um,
yeah.
and you're now playing at a place in Scotland with a lot of history. So you ended up going to Celtic last year in August. Um, the move to a club like Celtic, what emotions or what did that bring about in you, knowing that you were going to play for? I mean, this is a really well known historic club in the world.
Yeah, my dream is to get to the top, and when the opportunity to go to Celtic, to go to a club with this, Celtic is historic. It is one of the biggest clubs in the entire world. The opportunity to go there, you can't turn that down. And we're playing Champions League football as well, and to win trophies, it's an environment where it can propel me to go to the top and and excel my game and excel my career, excel my future. So when I had the opportunity to go, I took full advantage of it, and yeah, it was amazing year last year.
Yeah. Okay. So it's a lot about like storytelling here. I want to know what it's like to be in one of the most well known, maybe most there's a lot of animosity in this derby that you get to play in the old firm. What is it like playing in that game?
Well, my first experience was when I first signed. I think the first game was an
Oh
old
my
firm game.
gosh.
So I signed like 2 days before, so I was on the bench. I didn't play, but I got the full experience of like what it was about. I'm like, whoa, this is crazy. This is actually like people really they really care here. Um, so yeah, that was my first experience. Okay, so I got a taste of this, and but actually playing in the game too. It's that's what it's about. That's why you play football. Why
Yeah.
you want to be in these environments. Why you come here. Why you want to like put yourself in these environments to play in these games, play in the biggest stage games,
Hmm.
Champions League as well. It's it's what football's about. It's what you dream of as
Totally.
a little kid, watching games and the stories and all the stuff. Like I can tell my kids these stories, and their friends can tell these stories. It's like that's
Yes.
what it's all about.
Yeah, absolutely. And you said a second ago, like you made this move to Celtic because you want to play at the highest level. You want to be the best you can be. Well, you are playing at the highest level. Last year, you're playing in Champions League, right? You're standing out on the field when the anthem is playing. The champions. Like we only
Yeah,
dream about that here in the
I
United
know.
States, watching it on TV, and you're standing there, Auston. What was that like? Were there emotions when you're hearing that for the first time as a player on the field in the Champions League?
Yeah, it's obviously it gives me the chills even talking about it. It's the best feeling in the world. Every time I just close my eyes and I just like see Celtic Park is like the best place in the entire world because the atmosphere is so electric there on a Champions League night. That's where when I first came here, they send you a little like welcome pamphlet and it's like okay, like famous quotes and like Messi. It's like a quote of like Messi saying like this is the best atmosphere he's ever played in.
Hmm.
So I'm going there like, oh, I can't wait. But then like now I realize that like, wow, Champions League nights at Celtic Park, it is the best. So I close my eyes and just hear it and just like you're just so locked in. So it's I think playing Champions League automatically you're extremely hyped, but playing Champions League at Celtic Park in that
Yeah.
environment, it's like even more so. So I had the full scope of full exposure to it.
Yeah. Is there a certain game that you can think of right now off the top of your head at Celtic Park last year that was like the highlight for you? Or maybe not at,
Um,
maybe it was somewhere else in Champions League, but
there's thankfully we had a really good Champions League run last year. There's a lot of games. I think Bayern Munich at home that was amazing. Bayern Munich away, but I think Red Bull Leipzig win 3-1 against them. That was like I think that one was really nice.
I can only imagine what the fans sounded like after that one.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's you have such a way about you. It feels like you're 27. There's still so much career ahead of you, but you've got to experience so many big things, and it feels like it for you. It's just a taste, right? It's a taste of what's to come, and to continue
yeah.
to push forward in things that you really want to accomplish. And one of those things still the national team. Do you feel like you want to still pursue being the best and
hmm
making sure that that involves representing the national team? Is that something that you're hoping you get back
One
in the mix?
1 million% that like
Mm-hmm.
my dream is to be the best defender ever in the United States ever produced, and that is my mindset. That is my goal. That is what I've been trying to achieve and will achieve. So that being part of the national team, being in the World Cup, playing in the World Cup, playing for Mauricio, playing for the nation, that it really is the pinnacle, and that is where my mindset's at, and that's where my goals are at.
Yeah, I love hearing that. And um, right now it feels like just where you're at one of the best clubs. You're playing in really good football, but there's a lot happening around the club right now, especially. What do you think you've learned from maybe times in the past where you've had to face adversity that you can use right now in your on your club team to help you continue to get better, to continue to do that, to strive for being the best player that you can be?
Just embrace it. That's the mindset. Embrace. That's one thing I've learned. Embrace
Mm-hmm.
that adversity, and that's I am, and that's what I'm doing. And I know through all the adversity I've ever faced, in whatever, is that you come out on top. You come out a better person. Come out a better player. Come out a better human being. Lesson one is to embrace it and then go from there.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. Um, a lot of talk about you on the soccer field, Auston, and I've loved to just hear about your journey, really, and your mindset. Man, what a good head you have on your shoulders to be able to continue to
Appreciate it.
see a lot of how these things weave each other together. But off the field, it's been a big year for you. not only do you move to Scotland, you get married, you have a kid.
Yeah, yeah.
Congratulations, you have some new titles, husband and
I don't
father.
know.
What's that like becoming a dad?
It's the best thing in the entire world. I have a little Scottish baby. I got married in Scotland in Glasgow, so Glasgow always have a piece of our hearts, and it's always be a big place in
Yeah.
our family. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, it is. Being a dad is the best thing in the entire world. I think I always laugh because when dads before you're a dad, when dads would talk to you, it just goes in one ear out the other. You don't actually like doesn't actually seep into your mind. As much as they try to like pound it inside your mind, it's not going to like go anywhere until you become a dad. You're like, oh,
Mm.
like now I know what you were talking
Yeah.
about, but like you couldn't even
Yeah.
fathom
Who are the
fathom the
dads that were
things.
telling you that before you were a dad?
Just my brothers,
Oh yeah.
father-in-law, my dad, my friends, my teammates. It's just like when you say, "Oh, you're becoming a dad," it's really cool, but like you forget that. Like when I talk to my teammates now, like, "Oh, what about being a dad?" I forget that
Yeah.
they don't. It won't even hit. It won't even hit the same.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. It feels like you're I would imagine it feels like your heart grows like a couple of
Yeah,
sizes. You're just like, wow,
yeah.
I
I
didn't even
know.
know I have this much love.
Yeah, yeah.
What's the best thing about being a dad, and maybe what's the hardest thing about being a dad and being a footballer too?
The best is just seeing her pretty little face and coming home and seeing my family. It's just the best thing in the entire world.
Yeah.
I think at first, I guess there's bad. At first, it's just trying to figure out the new norm. Because I think again, like you're saying, it's a new norm. You never experienced this. You don't even know life was like. This is the side of life that people like your parents had. Like this is what their life is. Um, I think it's just feeling and accepting the new norm that is
Hmm.
just a transition everyone has to go through.
Yeah. A lot less sleep sometimes, huh?
Yeah, definitely.
Do you get a lot more visitors now from your family now that you have a baby?
My wife's side, yes, they come a lot, but now there's even more of a emphasis on coming and making sure everyone gets to spend time. My family's a little bit harder because there's so many of us, and
Yeah.
everyone's growing and doing their things. So usually I see that when I go home in the off
Yeah.
season.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah, it's not like you're too close too, right? It's a little bit.
No, yeah,
It's kind of difficult to get over there to Scotland, but
yeah.
let's keep rolling on things. Maybe outside, and you just mentioned home. So, um, what are some things from Philly or like the Philly area? Because you grew up right outside.
Mm.
That maybe you miss or you always have to do when you go back home.
Oof. Number one, I have to get a cheesesteak. I have to
Yeah.
get a Philly
What's your
cheesesteak.
cheesesteak?
What would I
Which
put on,
one?
or which is my Philly cheesesteak?
Yeah.
There's a couple places. A place called Delisandro's. And there's another place called Ishkabibbles. That's probably the funny word, but that's the name of it. But they're so good. So I get that, get a Philly salt pretzel
Oh,
too, and then I get a thing called you know what water ice is?
water rice.
Water ice.
Oh,
It's
water
like
ice. Yeah.
Italian. It's like Italian ice, but shaved. It's more like smaller ice crystals.
Mm.
You ever hear Breeder's water ice? Ever hear that?
I haven't.
Oh man, when you go to Philly, next time you're in
Okay.
Philly, tell me and I'll hook you up.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I will. What is it flavored? Is it a flavor like a
Yeah,
specific
yeah,
flavor?
yeah.
What's the flavor
It's
you
like
like?
Italian ice.
Okay.
They have all different types.
Ooh,
Mango, classic mango.
mango. You sold. I'm sold. I love mango. I love mango. So it sounds like those are the things that you have to do when you go back home. What have you really learned to love about Scotland, and maybe some go-to things or that you like to do in Glasgow?
Really like to explore when we don't have too much time. We got again it's a grueling season over here as well. We got games
Yeah.
every day. But when I do have time. We love to explore. It's so beautiful when a rare sunny Scottish day. It is the most beautiful place in the entire world. It is
Yeah.
so gorgeous. So you just want to go out and explore. You see everyone out because they've been inside for weeks and months, hibernating.
Yeah. And it's like
uh,
50 degrees and they're in shorts. You're like,
yeah,
okay.
yeah, yeah. Um, they just explore and find like castles everywhere. There's
Yeah.
beautiful lakes and locks and lots of just really cool places and lots of golf. Been golfing a lot.
Yeah.
I
You
got
have
hooked on
to.
golf here,
You
and a
have
lot of
to.
crazy and really nice places here. They take it very serious, and it's
Yeah.
the home of golf.
In Glasgow, is that where they have the cloisters in the? It's like one of the. I think it's at a university there. You got to look this up. I think it's in Glasgow.
Huh.
And it's just this beautiful architecture that you got to check out. You can just go on a random day. I think it's in the middle of a university campus. So
Oh,
the
it's like the ceiling,
cloisters.
like
Yeah, yeah.
it's like the ceiling. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I was there the other day.
It's
That's pretty.
beautiful, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. The university is amazing. It's
Yeah.
it's gorgeous.
I hit that up when I was out there. I
Yeah,
went to a Celtic game, which was
there you go.
it was so much fun, and I can imagine they didn't score a goal when I was there, so that wasn't I didn't get to really hear the ruckusness of the crowd, but I can imagine how loud that place could be. How about if you were let's go with some fun things. Like if you weren't a soccer player, what do you think you'd be doing right now? I heard you're a pretty
Huh.
good businessman from
Yeah.
good sources.
I do something in business. I when I was in Colorado, actually I finished my Southern New Hampshire degree. So I did online school. I did two classes for 5 years straight. When I was in Philadelphia and then I finished up in Colorado. So I got my business degree and I focused on entrepreneurship.
Nice.
So yeah, I love business stuff, and I'd definitely be doing something business related, whether my own thing or working on a something joint venture, doing
Yeah. Do you
something
have any
cool.
hobbies, like any fun hobbies that are get you like outside of thinking about soccer for a little bit?
I'm a big gamer.
Ooh.
I game probably too much. My wife would
Uh-oh.
probably agree. I game probably too much, but hey, it's a way for me to one decompress, focus on. I'm really competitive and probably too competitive where I have to do something competitive every single day, probably outside training as well. So I'm not being competitive with her, trying to play cards, something like that. But also I can connect with everybody, all my friends. So
Yeah.
My buddy Lawless, who played for the Rapids as well. I talk to him and I play with him every single day, over here. So we connect every single day. But that's how you keep in touch with your friends because we're all doing, we're all busy and
Yeah.
it's easier. It's a lot better than FaceTime because you're actually trying to achieve something to do. Like, you're playing the game together. Um,
So
so yeah,
you're
I
talking
love
about
doing that.
like life and you're talking about the game at the same time. Like I'm not a gamer, so I don't know
Yeah,
how this
yeah,
works. Or
yeah.
you're just like in it and you're team
Both.
working and you're not really talking about life. Like you're saying, "Hey Lawless, how's it going?" and then you're in it. You're just working on the game.
Not both. Both. You got that. You can do whatever you want. That's the beauty of it.
All right.
Um,
Well, I like that. I like that.
yeah,
You'll have to tell Lawless I said hi. Haven't seen him in a while. Hope he's
yeah.
doing
We'll
well.
do.
Did see
We'll
him
do.
playing in that playoff game recently, so hopefully
Yeah.
it goes well for them. All right,
Yep.
last thing before we have a fun game for you. What's your go-to like do you have a go-to artist that you're listening to on Spotify or like before games? Like what is your go-to music that's getting you in the
Ooh,
zone?
I'm a mixture. I love listening to music before. I used to not be a music guy before games. I used to just sit there in my thoughts and
Oh.
just like get tuned in, and then I've slowly just kind of I've learned in a sense. This is a little tip for footballers. I learned not to have a routine because I let do you let just go with the flow, do your
Mhm.
thing, don't think too much, play your game, do whatever. So I try not to have a routine. I just do whatever I feel like instead of being like, oh, if I didn't listen to this song at this certain time, then
Yeah.
I'm gonna have a bad game. So I
You
learned
get a little
just
stitious.
let it be. um little tip for the young guys. um but now when I listen to music, I listen to it all. Sometimes I listen to like some classical stuff, or like even some, like, I'm not gonna lie, some recently some Interstellar soundtrack that actually gets me going.
Yeah.
And I can get tuned into that. That's like a random one, but then it'll be like Afrobeats after that. It's like the most random
That's
mix, but
yeah. You got Miles
I'll
over
get
here in our
uh,
productions group like really agreeing with that. So he's
yeah.
liking that.
It's a banger. It's a banger for sure.
um does is that considered a guilty pleasure or no? I don't is not your guilty pleasure songs. I don't know Interstellar soundtrack, so forgive me.
Oh, you gotta listen to it. It'll get you hype.
I don't
It'll
have
get you
much to
hype.
get hype. I should have listened to it before this. Like, I don't know what else I need to get hype for, but
It's
I'll
probably
keep
it
that
probably
in
won't get
mind.
you hype. It probably won't
I'll
get you
keep
hype.
that in mind. Okay, Austin, the last thing we're going to do here before I let you go and get to your bedtime routine, it feels like pretty soon here in Glasgow. We're going to play a little game and we're calling it In Center Backs We Trust. So we've got
Like it.
we've got some different scenarios for you. all related to center backs, and you get to give us your insight on them. So, I know with Celtic you've played center back, you've played left back as well, kind of throughout your career, right? You've played in those two positions. But you can answer this being in either one of those positions. Like, who is your favorite center back partner that you've played with?
Partner.
Partner.
Ooh. Um, I'd probably say Lalas. Lalas he's just my buddy. Me and him we just click like we click, and it's just so nice playing with him.
I
I'll say
love that.
Lalas.
I love that. Who's someone that you
So,
would like
sorry,
to?
sorry, Drew.
Yeah, we'll tell Drew. I
Sorry,
think.
Drew.
Oh, what is that? I hear. Oh yeah, he's crying in the background. That was what's going on. Um, how about someone that you would like to pair with in the future?
Ooh, probably I would love to play pair with Van Dyke. I'll play. I know he plays on the left, and I play on the left, but I'll play on the right. I'll pair with him.
Yeah, I feel like that's fair.
Yeah.
Who wouldn't want to play with him? One of the best center backs of all time for sure. Um, all right, let's see. If you're tuning in to watch a game, and it can be now, it can be previously, um, who are your favorite? Like, who has been your favorite center back pairing to watch play? Like, I'm tuning into the game because I want to watch these two. We had a little discussion about this before.
I don't know. That's a tough question. I never really cared about the pairing. I've only really cared about specific like type of player. It'd be
So
like
you're just looking at left center backs, really,
or it
or
doesn't have to
no?
be left, but yeah, I never really cared about the pairing.
Okay,
To be
tell us
honest,
who you've liked then.
I've liked Van Dyke. I have his jersey. Thiago Silva. I have his jersey. Like David Luiz. I have his jersey. Um,
Like you
I
have
have
their
it.
jersey.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Van Dyke. Let's say Van Dyke. I have his jersey. Um, um, who else? Uh, those are really the guys. Like when I was growing up, I would search their names and watch their highlight tapes to get hype too.
Yeah,
So like I'd probably just stick to them. I always just whatever they're playing. PK don't have
I
his
know.
jersey, but
We
like
talked
those kind of
PK
players.
and Puyo was one of my favorites of all time.
Yeah,
Those two
yeah, yeah,
together,
yeah, yeah.
so good,
They were amazing for sure.
so good. Okay, and then lastly, let's build a U.S. men's national team back line. So you get to pick your back line. Center backs, of course, are the piece de resistance of this. Um,
I don't think I can answer this one. This is gonna be stitched up.
but it can be
Probably
all
shouldn't answer
time. It
this one.
can be whoever like that you've watched over the years that you really liked playing for the men's national team.
Okay, I'll do right back. Wait, DeMarcus Beasley was he? He was a right. Which guy was he again? Was he
I
right
think
back?
he was a left back.
Yeah, okay, left back. Okay,
Yeah.
DeMarcus Beasley. I'll go Marisa Adu, center back. I'll go Gooch, center back, and a right back. Who will I say? I think
Was Trundle right back? That might be a
yeah.
little before your time, but
I'm trying to think who was a right back in the day. Why am I blanking on everybody's name? All right, I won't hold this up. I'll just say Sergino Gus,
just
just because I can't think of
throw
nobody
a
else.
recent
Yeah,
one in
Stroman.
there.
Just throw
Yeah.
him
Yeah, he's gonna
in.
appreciate that. I'm sure he's gonna
Yeah, I
appreciate
like
that.
I like that one.
Austin, this has been so fun getting to know you and chatting with you. The very last thing we do on the podcast is I always give the guests an opportunity to just show a little gratitude, to be thankful, and to express that to whomever they want to. So the stage is yours to have a little gratitude.
Oh wow, dude, I got tons of gratitude. I think I just want to show gratitude towards um everyone that supported me. I think I've been through an amazing journey, but a lot of times when you look at me, you think it's just me, but it really hasn't been just me. It's been my wife, my family, her family,
Yeah.
friends, colleagues, teachers in the past, coaches, mentors. It's been everyone throughout the many years and sacrifices from my parents to go to every single game. My mom doesn't miss one game, even if that's 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning, 5 in the morning. She's not missed one game. So I just want to say gratitude to everyone that's ever supported me, because as much as my journey, it's I view it as our journey, and I'm just the propellant to achieve these dreams for all of us. And yeah,
Yeah, the team behind you. I love it.
yeah,
I love it
definitely.
so much. Well, that's going to do it for this episode of the Colorado Rapids podcast, The Conversation. It's been so great chatting with you, Auston, getting to know you, a little bit about your family, about your time to get to where you're at in football. And we wish you the best of luck as the season is still underway, about getting to be about halfway through now.
Close.
So best of luck through the rest of your season. And that's it. Make sure you guys subscribe, rate, and review us on wherever you listen to your podcast. And we'll be back again with another episode of The Conversation.